afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Please take a seat. Mr. Arth Jain,
Yes, sir.
what is meant by Arth?
Sir, Arth means meaning. It also means wealth.
Wealth and
Meaning.
meaning, both.
Yes, sir.
So dual meaning, eh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Arth, this is your second attempt.
Second attempt overall.
Very
sir.
good. What went wrong in the first occasion?
So I did not fully understand the demand of the exam, sir. I could not clear prelims because of that.
Okay. You have opted mathematics as your optional paper.
Yes,
huh?
sir.
Tell me, what use will you make of your knowledge of mathematics in policy formulation?
So I think maths is helpful in many aspects of life. For example, mathematical modeling is used in administration for weather prediction, for traffic management. A lot of economic policies, they have a lot of underlying math. Third, sir, I would say that data analysis, data interpolation, data extrapolation is used everywhere. Fourth, sir, even when I talk about resource utilization, maths, the essence of maths is to maximize the use of limited resources. So I feel in these four aspects, maths can be of critical importance, sir.
Okay. Your father is an IPS officer, huh?
Yes, sir.
And still you have opted for Indian Administrative Services #1.
Yes, sir.
Why so?
Sir, I feel while both services are extremely good and they are diverse in themselves, but in IAS the diversity is more. I can work across multiple departments in IAS, and in IAS we get to be a part of policy making, which is not the case with IPS.
I hope
sir.
you consulted your father.
So it was a well thought of decision, sir.
Okay. It was a
Well thought of.
Well thought
After
of
a
discussion.
lot of thought, sir, we decided
Very
IAS
good, very
over
good, very good.
IPS, sir.
Very good. Okay, our Honorable Prime Minister made a speech on the ramparts of Red Fort, and he made a mention about some national hydrogen mission. What is that?
So the idea is that when fossil fuels will get depleted, we will need to look for alternate sources of energy. So in this context, the National Hydrogen Mission has been launched to promote green hydrogen. Green hydrogen is the hydrogen that is produced.
Free hydrogen.
Green hydrogen.
Achha,
So
green.
should I? Is it clear?
I think you can.
Yeah, you can remove the
I'll
mask.
remove one layer of mask. So now it's clear, sir.
Yeah, no.
So the idea is to promote green hydrogen, which is basically hydrogen produced from renewable sources of energy. The idea is that we move towards energy independence.
Okay, but hydrogen can be a good fuel as compared to other renewable sources of energy.
Sir, as of now, the limited research that has been done, one of the advantages is the cost efficiency in the long run. Although we would require a lot of investment, but in the long run, the per kg fuel efficiency would be better. Secondly, sir, it's a environmentally clean fuel. Because of these two reasons, we are looking to promote hydrogen, sir.
How do you compare hydrogen as a fuel vis-a-vis electrical energy? There are electrical cars now.
Sir, at present, electric vehicle industry or the electric cars, they are much more advanced right now. That is, hydrogen is in very nascent stages. The issue is that hydrogen-based cars, there will be two concerns. One is the need for platinum and iridium-like expensive catalysts. And second, sir, there are genuine safety issues with hydrogen because of the extremely high energy density. On the other hand, sir, electric vehicles are much more developed right now, sir.
Okay. Your name is Arth. Have you ever read the Arth Shastra?
Sir, I haven't read it, but I have heard about it, sir.
Okay. One last question, since you belong to Jain community, there are two concepts which have impressed me a lot. One is Santhara. It's a practice which is being used by Jain. What is it? Some people say that it amounts to committing suicide, self-suicide?
Sir, it's a voluntary practice of fasting unto death. It was taken up by the Supreme Court and it said that it should not be equated to suicide. So my personal opinion would be that it's closer to euthanasia and not suicide. The
Okay.
conditions that
Positive euthanasia. Huh?
are passive positive
Passive,
euthanasia, which is basically an extension of right to dignified life. And that is how Jains see it, sir. There are conditions like only a terminal ill person, he can take Santhara, he can undertake Santhara, and he has to take the family's permission. So because of these safeguards, it's less of a suicide and more of passive euthanasia, sir.
Is taking family permission compulsory?
So it is said, but I'm not sure if it was always followed. That is one of the doctrines that Jain monks emphasize upon: terminal illness and permission of family.
There is another concept, aparigraha. What do you make out of it?
Sir, aparigraha would mean minimalism, basically not accumulating what is not needed. It emphasizes on living a simple life and basically to avoid any form of greed or avoid any form of extra possession what is not needed.
If Indians are asked to follow this practice of aparigraha, will it help the country's growth economically?
Sir, economically, I would say that as long as everyone is driven by self-interest but within the limits of law, the economy will grow, and that is the basic idea of capitalism. If everyone starts living a minimalistic life, although the greed will come down, a crime will come down, but the economy may also come to a standstill because there would not be any demand in the economy for anything.
One last question.
Sir.
Lord Mahavira Swami and Lord Buddha, they were contemporaries. I think Mahavir Swami was older by 30-35 years.
Yes.
They were contemporaries
Yes, sir.
anyway. Were there any differences between them? Did they ever meet? Any idea?
So as far as I remember, there is one mention of them meeting. I do not know which place. In terms of differences, sir, I would say the basic ideology difference. Jainism adopts a very extreme approach, which was what Lord Mahavir gave, that not even engaging in agriculture because it kills plants, not even traveling by water. On the other hand, Buddhism has always had an emphasis on middle path. That is the core difference, sir.
Very good, sir.
Now, Arth, tell me, what qualities do you possess that you consider yourself suitable for the IAS, not civil service in general, IAS?
Sir, I feel that IAS involves a lot of field work and working at the ground level. So I would be able to connect well with people. I would be able to adapt to different departments.
Something that unique, which makes you suitable for only IAS, not other service, to the exclusion of other services.
Sir, I would say adaptability, because since IAS is about diversity, so adapting to that diversity becomes extremely critical, not just geographic diversity but departmental diversity also, sir.
Okay, you have been in Jabalpur. You lived in Jabalpur throughout, or what?
Sir, only born there, sir.
Only born
Probably 2-3 years of my life.
And then where?
Sir, in Bhopal, I think a few years. After that, sir, since 2004, I have been in New Delhi only.
Okay.
And presently
That's
in
for
Gwalior.
studies.
Yes, sir.
That's for studies. Okay. Now, very recently, we have heard about some states coming out with their own, population policies to check on the growth of population. Do you think India needs a population policy at the national level?
So, even despite total fertility rates coming down, the absolute increase in population with decreasing resources basically means that we need to control population to a large extent. However, if we do come out with a national population policy, imposition should be avoided as far as possible. Otherwise, it would lead to discrimination against the girl child, can lead to bad practices like infanticide as well as sex selective abortion. So it should be voluntary. There should be a policy, but it should be voluntary, and as far as possible, it should be based on empowerment of the women and offering.
So
family
policy and voluntary. Can you suggest one or two aspects that can be included in such a policy if it ever comes?
So basically, I would emphasize on the need to save the girl child. So a policy would have components like providing family planning services free of cost.
We are looking at population growth per se. So girl child or boy, whatever, we have to restrict the number of children born.
So that is true, but there is always a case of discrimination, because having two boys, families do not go for a girl, but having two girls, family goes for a boy.
So what policy prescription would you come out with?
Sir, incentives for the girl child in policy. For example, in MP we have the Ladli Lakshmi Yojana, which offers incentives.
Now suppose the family produces 9 children, out of them 4 are girls, they will take incentive for the girl child, and still have large number of children.
That is true, sir, which is essentially the debate whether we should make it legally binding or not. If we do make it legally binding, the number of basically poor families will be impacted much more, because it's the less well-off families who have more children. So in this case, the family which has 9 children.
Which are the main incentive schemes for the girl children? Girl child.
We have schemes like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao.
Is that a scheme or
Sir,
is it a slogan?
it's a campaign.
It's a slogan. I am talking about scheme.
Sir, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana.
Sukanya Samriddhi. Okay, what is it?
Sir, as far as I recollect, it offers a savings account, sir.
So
Specifically, a high interest rate savings account for the girl child, sir.
high interest rate savings account
For the
a
girl child. Yes, sir.
No, give me details.
Sir, even I'm not completely aware of the exact details, sir.
But in the Sukanya Samriddhi account, how many accounts can I open? If I have 5 children, 5 daughters, can I open for all the 5 daughters?
I'm not sure, sir.
No. Okay. Now you mentioned about green hydrogen and efforts being made in this regard. Can you tell me what new experiments are going on in the country in this direction? Use of hydrogen as fuel.
I'm not sure, sir. I'll have to read up on this.
Okay.
Nakul, sir.
Okay, Arth, Jan. I mean, of course, in the feedback we'll tell you, but I thought I'd tell you right now that your eye contact should be like addressing other members also, other than who is asking questions.
Sir.
Right?
Yes.
That will help you. First of all, congratulations. Second attempt.
Yes, sir.
Second attempt.
Yes, sir.
Good. There is an office of Earth Sciences in Delhi. Since you belong to Delhi, you would have seen that office. Where is it?
Not able to recollect, sir.
Not sure?
Not sure, sir.
Okay, again close, it's very close to your place. Another closer place to you is this famous park on the Lodi Road. What is it called?
Lodi Park only, sir.
Lodi Park.
Lodi Garden. Yes, sir.
Now, some time back, they had introduced a system whereby they said if you go close to a tree and with some technical help, the tree will speak to you, it will introduce itself. What is that device?
Sir, if I remember correctly, it was a QR code.
Say it again.
QR code.
QR code.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. But have you tried whether it works?
No, sir, I haven't.
As a budding civil servant, you people should be interested. Go and try it.
I will definitely, sir.
Isn't it? That
Yes,
is
sir.
how you learn how the administration on the ground works. Half of them maybe already might have gone off with the rains and weather conditions. You think so?
I will go and try it for
Okay,
sure, sir.
okay. Your district is Southwest Delhi,
Yes, sir.
yeah? Is it under the municipal control of the NDMC?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir?
Sir, as far as I know, the 5 basic municipal organs in Delhi. So it's
Mhm.
so there is East Delhi, there is North Delhi, and
No, don't worry, because you won't be able to count the districts. There are too many. How many are there?
so there are 11 districts.
11.
11.
So don't try to count them.
Yes, sir.
But you are sure that it is under control of
I'm
NDMC?
not sure, sir. I'm not sure. I'm confused between
When was the
SDMC.
last? Okay, never mind. You have to go and check on all these things.
Yes, sir.
When was the last election to NDMC held, if it is NDMC, or if it is MCD, which is MCD is?
Municipal Corporation of Delhi, sir.
जोर से बोलो यार.
Municipal Corporation of Delhi, sir.
Confidence से बोलो
Yes.
ना. Don't hesitate. Yes, there are only 2 bodies, either NDMC or Municipal Corporation.
Sir,
So
the-
I mean, whichever it is, when was the last election held to this body?
I'm not sure, sir.
Are you a registered voter?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
Yeah, in others. Yeah, please.
Not even in Jabalpur, I mean.
Right now I'm in Gwalior, sir, but so much
Gwalior.
shifting and I've been busy with studies, so
Okay.
I could not get
This
registered
is
as a
another
voter.
sin committed. You are budding civil servants, first of all. It is right to vote. Is it a fundamental duty or a fundamental right?
Sir, it's a legal right, sir.
It's a legal right
Yes, sir.
or a legal duty.
It's not per se a duty because we are not penalized. It can be called a civic duty.
So you have the option to whether to vote or not to vote.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And you would exercise not to vote.
Sir, I would in the future exercise.
Register yourself as a voter.
Yes, sir.
A civil servant should be ready well in advance before you go for the interview, or fulfill all your duties. Right?
I'll do that, sir.
Okay. Your Indian language paper is Hindi.
Yes, sir.
Who's the Rashtra Kavi of Hindi?
Rashtra Kavi. Sir, I'm not
Rashtra Kavi is what?
the national poet.
National poet. And he or she is declared officially, right? So you won't recall who's he.
I'm not sure, sir.
Okay. Delhi has an interesting model of governance. It is unique in many ways. And one of the features relates to Delhi model of freebies. You heard of it?
Yes, sir.
What are these freebies? Can you give some examples?
Sir, up till 200 units of electricity being given free, water being given free, and recently, sir, the pink tickets for women, that is also a case of freebie, sir. Basically, sir, public goods being provided free of cost to people.
Is it to be provided to all citizens of Delhi or only limited people?
So the electricity and water is for everyone, sir. The free tickets, the pink tickets are for women only.
Okay. They propose to take this model to some more states where the elections are to be held early next year. What are these states where they have promised to bring this model?
Sir, as far as I recall, one of the states is Punjab.
Mm-hmm.
Other states I'm not sure of, sir.
Okay. Now, can you tell me, is this model, where we are distributing or giving away a lot of freebies, and there are a number of them which you have not counted, but doesn't matter, you can always have a look at it. You are from Delhi, so you should know. And so giving away these freebies, you think is economically viable in the long run? One sec. They claim that this is being given from their profits which have been amassed during the past. So now, tell me, is it economically viable in the long run?
So there will always be revenue costs associated with this, but I see it more as a social welfare measure, sir. And social welfare measures should not be seen strictly from the economic lens, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Because freebies like these, they can help a lot of families, like free electricity and water. For the less well-off sections of society, they can be of immense help. So social welfare benefits should not always be seen from the economic feasibility, since they are working fine till now, and since the Delhi government has said that it has reduced expenditures on other fronts and hence has been able to provide, I feel that the model has been working so far.
Would you recommend that these should be continued?
Sir, I would say that these should be continued, but at the same time we should ensure two things. One, that free resources tend to be wasted more, so that wastage is somehow minimized either through spreading awareness or through some other restriction. Second, sir, the targeting must be done properly, because free electricity or free water means that you have that formal electricity connection and water connection in the first place, which the extremely poor sections of society do not. They still rely on tap water, sir.
Okay, thank you, Arth.
So, thank you, sir.
Arth, you are from Delhi. Have you heard the CM speech, Independence Day speech yesterday?
Ma'am, I read about it.
Okay. He has proposed something called as the Desh Bhakti curriculum. We already have a lot of lessons on patriotism in our education system. How is this Desh Bhakti curriculum going to be different? How does he intend to make it different?
I do not know the details right now, ma'am. I'll
Okay.
definitely read up.
Okay. Now, again, the CJI has expressed concern over the declining parliamentary debates in India, and you have written debating as your interest. So, do you really think that parliamentary debates are declining in India? They are no longer constructive?
Ma'am, to some extent we can say that the number of sittings has reduced, each parliamentarian's attendance has reduced. There is a lot of use of unparliamentary language, personal attacks, casteist remarks, as well as issues have become excessively politicized. There are frequent dharnas, walkouts. So that has to a large extent reduced the efficiency of the parliament. But then the essence of democracy is that constructive and confrontative debate continues to take place.
So, do you think there should be some changes in the way the parliament is functioning right now? What reforms do you propose? Do you have any reforms in
Ma'am,
mind?
one of the reform that has been suggested is to give 20% of the time, 20% of the working days to opposition. Basically the UK model, where you call it opposition days, so that they can decide the motion, they can decide how the proceedings will take forward. That will essentially stop them from going on a strike, dharna or walkout, and it's in line with principles of democracy, because it will only increase accountability more.
Okay. We celebrated our Independence Day yesterday. Can you tell me, according to you, what does patriotism mean to you as a citizen of this country?
Patriotism, ma'am, for me means love for our country and the people in it.
And how do you, as a citizen of this country, show that or exhibit that?
Ma'am, right now I'm trying to be a part of civil services, so I think that is also a manifestation of my patriotism. Other than that, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have not broken any rule ever. I try to help as many people as I can. I think that is a show of patriotism, ma'am, for me.
Don't you think voting is also part of it? Being a registered voter is also part of it?
Ma'am, here my stand is slightly different for
Yeah.
civil servants. Ma'am, for a normal person it is definitely there, but voting means that we are choosing one particular party over other, which means that we do have some political bias in our mind. But I think that in principle civil servants should be completely neutral, and by voting, ma'am, this is just my opinion, by voting I am creating that bias in my mind. So that is the
Okay. See, there has been an amendment made to the National Capital Territory of Delhi Act, which has become quite controversial. And one major, criticism was it is against the spirit of federalism in India. Do you think so? Is it the case?
Ma'am, I would not say so, because federalism in this case would not completely apply. As Supreme Court has repeatedly highlighted that Delhi is a special case. It's not a union territory in the traditional sense. It's not a complete state either. Being the capital, it has certain critical institutions like Supreme Court, Parliament, the embassies and all. Hence, its governance would always be slightly different from all other cases. Even when we compare it to international examples like Washington DC or Canberra, this is what happens, that they are essentially municipalities. So in this particular case, at least, it's not a compromise on federalism.
Then why do you need a CM? Why should you hold elections? Why do you need the council, legislature? What is the need?
Ma'am, this is where the divergence happens, because it's all about population. Delhi has 2 crore people, and this 2 crore is more than the population of many countries. So how do we make sure that the democratic will of these 2 crore people is exercised? How do we make sure that governance goes on with what people want? So as far as the balancing of the two interests are concerned, that is democratic will of people on one hand and the national security or the case of Delhi as a capital on the other hand, this is the balance we are able to find.
My last question, Arth, the women's reservation in state legislature and parliament has been pending for a very long time, and recent surveys have indicated that the political representation of women is extremely low in India, despite the fact that Lok Sabha it has picked up. Now, what do you think are the major hindrances in getting this bill passed by the Lok Sabha? Where is the problem?
Ma'am, I would say that the lack of political will is there, because political parties from across the spectrum, they focus on winnability of the candidate, and through winnability their aim is social justice. So the path to social justice would be by getting into power, by having a candidate who can win, and if they do not have women candidates who can fight the election, they would not be completely supportive of that. The people right now, basically political parties are male dominated, so it's difficult to expect that they would be willingly ready to give that up.
But data, the recent election data shows that women have performed extremely well when compared to their male counterparts. The chances of women candidates winning is much higher according to the statistics.
Ma'am, I'm not sure of the exact statistics, but I feel that there is always a bias that women are that women contest from those seats where they are extremely popular. If we see the women who have contested. Secondly, ma'am, women should not be seen as completely independent candidates in all the cases. In a lot of cases, they are daughters or wives of famous politicians. So that has to be accounted for in the winnability factor.
Okay. Thank you, Arth.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Arth, for a
Thank you,
nice
sir.
interaction we had. Now, we would like to brief you about your performance in the interview. Your mock interview is over otherwise.
So
No, you kindly wait outside.
Okay, yes.
We'll give you the recordings. Arth, you are a very good candidate, and but there are a few flaws which we have observed in your personality which need to be taken note of, because our idea is to ensure that
Yes,
you
sir.
perform better. Don't take it otherwise, but
Yes,
act
sir.
on it.
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether other mock interviewers have observed similarly. I have not. First thing first, I leave your sense of dress is very good. I will refrain from commenting on your dress, because I leave it to your wisdom too. But you should, look as sober as possible. For instance, your tie is as though you are going for a celebration. It is not a UPSC interview is a very serious and formal
This
occasion.
is not the
No,
final
this
date.
won't do. Normally, we have been advising people to wear plain ties.
Oh, okay, sir.
Not this. Plain tie is always recommended.
Solid color.
No spotting, no
Yes, sir.
stripes and all that. That is number one. And let me start from the beginning. When you entered with a bang, like this. That is not, and you are not supposed to seek permission of the board in UPSC. There will be an attendant who will be ushering you inside the board, and then you have to just make a knock like this. That's enough.
Yes.
Don't say, may I come in, sir? That is known to them. And you did not greet us properly. You must greet the chair first, and
I did.
as you were proceeding towards your chair, you started greeting. You know, I think you position yourself by the side of the chair, and they say, "Good morning, sirs. Good morning,"
Okay,
like that.
yes.
Not that you are take the board seriously. It's not a normal conversations as
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir.
You have a tendency to slide into informality, which that is my don't be informal with the board. That will be blunders. So some of the expressions which he used was confrontative debate. At one stage, these words are prohibited. Don't use words which are expressions which will create controversy, and
Yes,
they will land you in trouble. And then strike in parliament. How come you use these things? There is no strike in parliament. There is walkouts or boycott, but no strike in parliament. So
Yes.
please choose your word very carefully. And I would suggest that before starting the answer, you listen to the question very carefully. उसको रिवॉल्व करिए, अपने माइंड में रिवॉल्व करिए. What exactly has been asked? 4, 5, 6 seconds is a must. Pause you have to give, because you have to give an impression to the board, UPSC board or whichever board, that you are thinking about the questions. It is not as any आपने रट के कुछ बोल दिया, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. You have applied your mind and then you are answering, and थोड़ा slow down. अपना speed जो है वो भी कभी कभी बहुत fast हो जाती है. Initially you were good, but later on you picked up the speed and
I will slow it down, sir.
rather fast.
Yes, sir.
That must be avoided. And eye contact, as he stated in the beginning, but it was reserved for the final briefing session. Eye contact was missing. The person who has asked you questions, it was fixed on him or her only. You completely ignored the rest of the members of the board. This is not good. Involve everybody, engage with them. Don't talk to them. You reply to the questions, and once in a way give a fleeting glance to other members, because they also should feel involved.
Yes.
Otherwise,
yes.
they will go to sleep. And your articulation is good, but choice of words is dangerous sometimes, which you have to be very. Conceptual clarity also is lacking at times. You have to enhance your knowledge base, and sometimes your answers are self-contradictory. Sometimes
Sir, can you give an
contradictory
example?
हाँ, notice किया गया था मैडम ने. तो when you watch
Yes,
the,
sir, yes,
you
sir,
will come,
surely.
you will find everything, and you must have a fair knowledge about the various programs, schemes announced by the state government or the central government. उनका डिटेल्स थोड़ा आपको पता होना चाहिए. और वोटिंग बायस जैसे आपने बोला, वो दैट विल वेरी, it is unlike a civil servant. Something was, madam asked you something about voting. Madam, would you like to?
I actually said there are two things that I'd like to tell you. One is, as a civil servant, you should lead by example, and people,
Yes, ma'am.
to encourage people to vote. You are mixing up your role as a citizen and a civil servant. In fact, you are more responsible to vote because you are a civil servant, and it's one of
What
the most
should be
important.
the answer for final day?
You said that you did not get time and all. It was as a part of the discussion that it came out. It should not come out. If it comes out, that is fine, and you should say that I want to register at the earliest, rather than saying you are getting political neutrality and all that. I mean, that is not necessary at all, isn't it? And the second thing is NCT Delhi. When I asked the question, you said that it is not against the federal spirit. The next statement you made, you said that to respect democracy, to look at people's opinion, you have voting. Don't you think it is contradictory? Because the amendment says that Delhi government means NCT Delhi government would be the lieutenant governor and not the elected government. So is it not affecting democracy? Have you not contradicted one statement? You said it's not
I
against
will,
the. You understood what I told
look
you?
into that, ma'am,
So that contradiction should not be there.
Yes, ma'am.
That you must be very careful, as madam has very
Yes, sir.
clearly. And one, we expect more humility in your approach, in your answering. There was a streak of arrogance observed by us, which you are not. You are not arrogant, but it was observed by the members.
So
by
what
the
can I
panelists.
do for reducing that?
No, don't be overconfident and be
Say,
humble.
If anything, I'm underconfident for the interview.
No, basically, that impression perhaps is driven by the way you're expressing yourself. A little soberness in the way you are speaking, a little slow, you know, a mellowed down tone would actually help, is what I feel, sir.
Be at peace with yourself. जैसा मैडम ने कहा ना, slow down your speech. When you speak fast, arrogance also
I will slow it down, sir.
emerges on your face, which must be avoided.
One of the cosmetic apparent things is, like you are sitting now, you probably didn't realize that during the entire interview proceedings, you were sitting with this white gap between the legs. Right? It should be little or thoda narrow kariye if it is not uncomfortable.
It's not, sir.
Yeah,
I'll do
so
this.
that's better, because sitting posture is also part of, you know,
Yes, sir.
how you appear and what impression you are carrying. So otherwise, though, I mean, you are a good material. Make the best of. Like you left only with few days for your interview. So all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Were you nervous during the interview?
So I'm nervous all the time,
Why?
sir, because it's such an important interview, such
Why
an
do you
important
think so?
exam.
Why do you think so? It is important, no doubt. But why do you take it on your head that you become nervous?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, I'll then suggest that you do some kind of meditation for these 5-10 days that you have in your hand. At least 10 minutes of dhyan or meditation every day. It will at least have some positive impact on your nervousness.
I will try.
Don't feel nervous at all. Be confident, but don't be overconfident. That overconfidence should not be reflected. And don't say such things like this, like you said here. If I vote, if I cast my vote,
That was
it will
a bad answer,
look
sir.
like favor to one party or the other. Do you know that nobody tells कि मैंने किसको वोट दिया? कोई कहता है?
Internal mental bias.
हैं?
But
इंटरनल हो सकता है, कुछ बायस तो मुझ में भी है, हर एक में है. आई फेवर वन पार्टी, शी में फेवर अदर पार्टी, बट बताया नहीं जाता है,
yes, sir.
बाहर
I'll
नहीं
work on
बताया
that
जाता.
answer. Yes, sir.
तो वो कैसे आएगा आपका? बायस कहाँ से नज़र आएगा? नहीं आएगा ना. दैट इज़ वाई वी हैव दिस सीक्रेट बैलेट. यू नो दी ऑल दिस.
Yes.
और अभी आकर आपके पास टाइम है, आप ऑनलाइन घर पे बैठे हुए अप्लाई कर सकते हो वोटर आईडी कार्ड के लिए. आप अप्लाई तो कर दो, है ना. दैट एटलीस्ट अगर, हालांकि ये सब्जेक्ट अब जो है वहाँ पे कोई आएगा, ये ज़रूरी नहीं है कि ये क्वेश्चन क्रॉप अप होगा, बट सपोज कहीं क्रॉप अप हो ही जाए तो यू कैन से दैट आई हैव अप्लाइड.
Yes, sir. That's better.
बस.
Yes, sir.
क्या प्रॉब्लम है ना. एंड डोंट लूज योर कॉन्फिडेंस एट ऑल. यू आर ए गुड कैंडिडेट, गो विद कॉन्फिडेंस.
I would like to add one thing, Uncle. Please remember that your second attempt you're making to the interview, that has to actually give you confidence, because you know many people do not make it in the second attempt also. So first try to have a very positive approach to the interview, because there are two extremes in you. One side you are underconfident, the other side you sound overconfident. So you know you have to really consciously work on it. Have a very positive approach to you towards it. All said and done, it's just an exam. It's just an interview. It is important, but it is not to the extent that it breaks you down. Think about all the effort that you've put in to reach this stage. That should give you the confidence to go ahead. Okay, so have a very positive outlook towards it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So all the very best to you.
Thank you.
You must.
All the
Thank
best.
You are a good material for civil service.
Thank you, ma'am.
An academy. Let's crack it.